guys, so last week Jessica had asked me about boot cut jeans, which boots to wear with them and what length they should be. So today's quick little video is just going to cover a few little tips. So with a boot cut jean, a straight leg jean, even a wider leg pant of any sort, I have wider leg pants, but they're cropped, so they're kind of useless in this video. But I don't have any other like sort of full length pants that are comparable, so I'm just going to have to discuss it with you. So whenever you're putting a boot, and even with a flare as well, whenever you're putting a boot with one of those types of denim or pants, you always want to make sure that the boot that you have underneath the denim or the pant, when you walk, is not going to kind of show through, not make the jean, or even if you're standing, not make the jeans stick out. So it just depends on along the leg how wide your pant is or your denim is, and then how wide the boot is. For example, also how high it is. So if you're doing a knee-high boot underneath a boot cut, it's going to have to be pretty much right up close to your leg. Like this would show through the denim. This wouldn't even work. You couldn't get denim over this unless it's a wide leg. Now, if it's a wide leg, you could probably get away with it, but because this boot doesn't sit close to the leg, it's going to show when you walk. And then, so if you go a little shorter, if you go a little bit shorter, this is a little bit better in the sense that even though it's not as close fitting to the leg as you might want, it's not too wide and it's a little bit lower down. So this, at this point of the denim or the pant, it's usually a bit looser, whether you're doing boot cut, some straight leg, it just depends on how wide it is, and wide leg pants. So you probably, unless you're walking when you're taking your steps, if it's a softer fabric, you might see, you know, the edges of the boot. So then I would say go really nice and close. Then if you go shorter, for example, like an ankle boot, this is nice and close. It's shorter down. Any pant that you put above it, unless it's like a really tight leg. But a boot cut isn't a tight leg, a straight leg isn't a tight leg. Flare's not tight, wide leg, neither of those are tight against, they're not like narrow through the leg. So, you know, ideally something that's close. Just always think close to your leg. Anytime you're buying a boot, unless you're making like a statement style boot, it's always more flattering closer to your leg, unless it's a different style. So now, length of the denim or any pant that is wider and that is not cropped. So regardless of what boot you're wearing, now this is key. So when you're hemming if you have to hem the denim or when you're purchasing it, keep in mind, or a pant or whatever, keep in mind which footwear you're going to wear with it, because unless it's a crop, you always want, and it's a longer pant regardless of the leg, you always want, unless it's a skinny jean isn't going to go past here, you always want it to be about ½ inch above the ground. Now if it's a straighter leg, like more of a straight leg, it's probably going to sit somewhere around here, right? It's not going to even make it. So in that case, if it's a tighter and a narrower leg and it's coming down over the boot, where's it going to hit? It'll probably hit somewhere here or a little bit lower. Ideally, if it's a wider leg and there's a lot of fabric through here, you're going to want it to not touch the ground. Although I know that there's a look where there's a wider leg pant that kind of caresses the ground. I don't know. That's just not practical to me. I just think it's going to get dirty in about 5 minutes. So what you want, ½ an inch, no more than like ½ inch above the boot, if it's a wider leg. And then depending on how wide or how narrow the leg is through here, it should sit, you know, if it's really wide, it should sit kind of through here. What you don't want, now, so I can't give you an exact because it depends on the pant, but what you don't want is a wider leg pant. Now this is a bit of a heel. If it's flat, it's even more pronounced. So it depends on the height of your boot. It depends on the width of the leg of the pant. Depends on the width of the leg of the boot. So there's no one size fits all. But what you don't want is, let's say, whether this is a flat boot or a heeled boot, you don't want this like wider leg kind of like just floating like an inch or two above the ground, doing nothing. It's, first of all, all, it's going to chop your leg. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about it. It just kind of looks like it's floating. That's why you want to make sure, if you're hemming your pants or you're purchasing, keep your footwear in mind. If you're always going to wear flats or sneakers or whatever, that's one thing. But with boots, I mean, you're going to have like a 1/2 inch heel, a 1 inch heel, a 2 inch heel, 3 inch, 4 inch. It depends what you're putting on. What you're going to be wearing. So yeah, so just try and have it as close to the ground, for the wider it is. The narrower the leg is, you can go up, but what you don't want, like I said, is this width of a pant in the denim kind of just floating with nowhere to sit. It needs to sit somewhere. So just keep that in mind. The wider it is, the closer to the ground it needs to sit, and no more than 1/2 inch. So that's it. Nice, short, and sweet. Save this for later if you want to come back and reference it. Share it with a friend. And yeah, DM me for sure if you have any topics that you would like me to cover. I'm always happier doing a video that I know at least one person will get the help that they need. And as always, if you have that question, I know there's many other women out there who also have that question. So it's not selfish. You're helping your friends.